What up, family? Good sport. Dash 20 Mary Liz, 10:14 p.m. in my city, Chicago, Thursday, June 12th, 2025. 86% on my phone. I want to tell you all a real true story. Not that I be lying to you, but I want to tell you the truth. For real, I'm going to go to 10:17. Hopefully, I get it out in time. Um, I was homeless, and I was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I had gone there before when I was homeless, and they had got me you know, a shelter. Found me a shelter. It was nice. I'm not complaining. It was real nice. And you know, as much as I wanted to settle down and move on with my life, even though I'm from Chicago, you know, the spirit just wouldn't let me, settle down and stuff. So I ended up leaving that shelter, and then I became homeless again. And I went back trying to look for that shelter. And I was real tired. I was real tired. And this honest to God's truth. And I want you to pay attention because this is how the spirit works and how God works in my life. They always try to discredit the originals and make it seem like, they weird or whatever the case may be. And, I want to talk about Sojourner Truth. This is about Sojourner Truth. And I believe she and I had kindred spirits, even though she's no longer amongst us. Long story short, I was so tired, man, that I saw a bridge. Just the honest God's truth. An overpass or whatever and stuff. Off to the side or whatever. And I wanted to lay down and get some sleep on the ground. This is a true story. I was looking for the shelter that I was once at, but I couldn't find it. So, I was tired. I wanted to get some rest. And I laid down, but what I saw was, when you go to the psych ward and they give you that plastic bag and have your belongings in it and they put your name on it and stuff, and that's what they give you on the way out. That's what I saw when I laid down, and some little girl panties. And I knew if I went to sleep, it was going to be all hell to pay. And as tired as I was, I got up because I didn't want to be accused of no funny business. You understand what I'm saying? Real talk. And all I saw was a big hill. When they say, took a whole lot of trying just to get up that hill. I went all the way up that hill. I ain't think Milwaukee had hills, but this one did. It's 10:17. We're going to go all the way to 10:19. I went all the way up that hill. And when I got there, it was the Sojourner Truth Shelter House for Girls. Imagine that. Now, I'm thinking, okay, I didn't find the shelter I was looking for, but I found one better, right? I got in there. They let me in. I didn't see anybody, as far as girls or whatever the case may be. You understand? It was just a security guard and some lady at the desk or whatever and stuff. And I was like, I could show you some shelter. You understand? And she was like, well, we're not able to help you or whatever. And so I said, well, can I just use your bathroom? And security escorted me to the bathroom. And I was like, is there any way you could call, an ambulance so I can go to the hospital, just to get a checkup or evaluated or whatever, because I am exhausted. Now, she did do that, but while the ambulance was coming, she said, can I take your picture? I was like, yeah, go ahead. You understand what I'm saying? Priceless. I'm telling you, priceless. This story is priceless. The ambulance came. It was a white lady and a white man. They put me in the back, took me to some hospital. And, they was calling themselves, checking me or whatever, how vitals and stuff like that. And I just felt real disrespected. So I was like, you know what? Just let me sit in the lobby. And people was looking at me like I was about to drop dead. I'm talking exhausted, right? And I sat there for about an hour or two. I don't know how long it was. And then I left and went back to Chicago. So honest to God, it's true. That's a true story. Took a whole lot of trying just to get up that hill. 10:19. So when you look at me, remember Sojourner Truth, ladies, when it all fall down, okay? This is 11. I'm number one twice for a reason. And this 12. That's 23 on my mama. Peace.